good morning. Welcome to our low and slow morning stretch. Although you don't have to do the stretch in the morning. I just call it morning stretch because that's when we record it, that's when we share it. So today we are going to do a back release and a shoulder release. So if you've been sitting in front of a computer all day or helping to manage your kids all day and you have some lower back tightness or achiness, as well as your hip flexors, so the tendons that run through the front of the legs here. We're going to do a little release for those, and then also follow up and do some shoulder release, because you know that's where I hold my tension. It's my neck and my shoulders, and on low and slow day I like to kind of even help myself out a little bit. So that's what we have planned today. We will not be doing any standing poses. We are starting in Savasana, which I love. Like, I love some power classes, but I love to get low and slow and really just breathe into the places that are causing me some discomfort, because I feel like I'm almost healing myself from within. So that's what I'm sharing today. If you have a strap handy, it might be helpful, but it's not necessary. And then if you have any limitations with your knees, maybe grab a towel quick, or just know that you can double up your mat and give yourself some extra cushion on your knees, because we're going to do the low runner's lunge, but just because I want to add a new variation to that with releasing the lower back. So with that, join me on your mat. Just stretch the body all the way out. And as you start sinking in, start feeling the parts of the body that are connected. So I know we've all just kind of woken up. Maybe take a deep cleansing breath or two. Always start when we center in Savasana or resting pose. Try to set up the body like you're in mountain pose, except you're laying down. So flex the feet, engage the legs, the core, the glutes. And then slide those shoulders away from the ears, strengthen the arms next to the body, palms facing up. And once you take a couple of deep breaths with the whole body engaged, on that last exhale, soften. Allow the feet to naturally open, soften the arms. See if you can release the shoulders all the way to the ground. So you might notice that you're holding the shoulders forward. See if you can soften them towards the earth. And then start checking in with the points of the body that are connected. So you might feel the small of the back kind of lifted away from the earth. Just kind of scan from the top of the head all the way to the bottoms of the feet, noticing the places that have connection. And maybe notice the parts of the body that are lifted naturally because of our curves and the natural form of the body. Maybe draw the chin towards the chest just a little bit to open up the very top of the spine. Keeping the lips closed, bring separation between the top and bottom teeth. Maybe release the tongue from the top of the mouth. Notice how that shifts and changes the relaxation and softness of the face. With the palms raised towards the sky, and possibly feeling the cool air passing over the skin, see if you can notice the vibration of the body in the palms of the hands and in the soles of the feet. Notice the breath. Notice where you might be breathing just into the chest, possibly already breathing all the way down into the stomach. Notice the cool air coming in through the nose. Maybe feel a warmth leaving the body on the exhale. And depending on where you live, maybe noticing if you have any restriction on the inhale or the exhale because of allergies or maybe a little cold or something. Just notice where the body is today. And lastly, notice where the body feels really good today. Maybe it's your mind feels clear, maybe your mind feels hopeful and ready for a productive day. Maybe you slept really well and you feel energized. maybe from all the yoga you're doing, your body just feels fantastic. Start to intentionally bring deep inhales and exhales into the body. 5 deep inhales and exhales. If you're not able to send the breath to the stomach on the first 2 breaths, just be patient with yourself. See if you can send the breath maybe to the bottom of the rib cage, always striving to get that breath all the way to the stomach. See if you can fill the stomach, expand the ribs, and then sip into the chest. Long, slow exhales. Try not to rush the breath. Keeping the jaw soft on the inhale and exhale. With each breath, try to lengthen. Slow it down. 1 more deep breath, this time making it the slowest breath. Expanding the stomach, the ribs, sipping into the chest. Holding at the top. Long, slow exhale to release. Drawing the belly button all the way into the backbone. Holding at the bottom, and then allowing the body to come back to a neutral, natural breath. Maybe taking a moment just to scan from the top of the body all the way to the bottoms of the feet. Notice if there's any change from the beginning. Maybe wiggle the fingers and toes. And then drawing the right knee in towards the body. Maybe clasping hands behind the back of the knee. Flexing the right foot. Just starting to warm up the hips. Maybe drawing that knee to the right, towards the armpit. Keeping the left leg planted and the left knee and left toes pointed up. So always keeping that leg engaged to really keep the rest of the body aligned. On the next exhale, draw that right leg towards the left-hand side. Shoulders and hips continue to be connected, so not a spinal twist. And then slowly draw that knee back towards center. If you have a strap, go ahead and wrap the strap around the ball of the foot, and then slowly pull that knee towards the chest one more time. If you don't have a strap, this time clasping hands maybe at the shin, and that helps to draw the knee in a little bit closer. And then as you feel ready, start to straighten the right leg. It doesn't need to be completely straight. We're still just warming up. So keeping the leg flexed, but if the knee needs to be bent, just bend the knee. So if you have your strap, holding onto the strap on either side, and then drawing the leg towards you. If you don't have a strap, clasping hands behind the back of the thigh, and slowly drawing it towards you. So the strap just kind of helps keep a little bit more control. But it's okay, you don't have to have one. On the next exhale, slowly lower that right leg to the left-hand side. Without the strap, you just kind of plant your left elbow on the earth and use your fingertips to guide that leg so that you're not overextending. So the shoulders and the hips are planted on the earth. Constantly trying to rotate that right hip towards your mat. And then on the next exhale, drawing the leg towards center, and then slowly releasing to the right-hand side. So slowly, with the strap, you might be able to go a little bit deeper with the stretch. Just be mindful of where your body is. So we don't want to pull, we don't want to pull a groin muscle here. So we want a good stretch. We want to feel the engagement. We don't want any yoga injuries. So if you have the strap, it's a little bit easier to control. If you're not using a strap, just plant that right elbow and use the strength of the hand to kind of guide the leg open. And then on the next exhale, slowly drawing that leg back to neutral. Clasping hands behind the leg. Engage the core. Slowly peel the head and the shoulders, nose towards the knee. Keeping the jaw soft so that you can continue to breathe. So holding the pose, not holding the breath. Shoulders are released. With each exhale, see if you can draw the leg towards the nose just a little bit closer. And then on the next exhale, slowly release. Keep the core engaged and slowly either release the strap or just slowly start to lower the leg all the way down. So as you lower the right leg, it's going to feel a little bit longer than the left. We're going to even everything out. So draw that left knee in towards the chest. Maybe start with hands clasped behind the thigh. And then drawing that left knee towards the left side or the left armpit. Right knee and right toes are planted and pointed up towards the sky. So keep that right leg engaged. And then on the next exhale, draw that left leg towards the right hand side. So we're just really opening up the outside of the left hip. And then draw the knee towards the chest one more time. This time clasping hands around the shin. If you have your strap, go ahead and wrap the strap around the ball of the foot. On the next exhale, lengthen that left leg, flexing the left foot, clasping hands behind the thigh or using the strap. And then with the core engaged, the shoulders and hips connected, slowly lower that left leg towards the right hand side. So again, using the right elbow planted and the fingertips as a guide, or using the strap to control the movement. Rotating that left hip towards the earth. Core stays engaged. Continue to breathe. On the next exhale, slowly draw the leg through neutral and slowly release to the left-hand side. So my left elbow is planted and the hand is just there to guide. Right shoulder and right hip is pressed towards the earth. One more deep breath. And then on the exhale, draw the leg back to neutral. Clasping hands behind the thigh or using the strap. Engage the core. Slowly peel the shoulders and the head off of the ground. And try to draw the nose towards the knee. With each exhale, see if you can deepen the stretch. Shoulders are released. The right leg stays engaged and planted. One more deep breath. On the exhale, slowly release. Keep the core engaged. And then slowly lower the left leg down. If you have the strap, go ahead and release it. And take 3 breaths in reclined mountain pose. So really think about your alignment. And toes and knees are pointed up. Arms are engaged. Legs are engaged. Flexing the feet as if you're standing on the ground. And then bending the knees, planting the feet. Try to draw the heels in close to the body. Engage the core. So the baby bridge, this is just where we're tilting the pelvis. This is great for releasing pressure from the lower spine. So arms are released to the side. Neck and head are still and any weight that might be distributed is going to be in the bottoms of the feet and in the shoulders. So we're not peeling the hips all the way off. We're going to inhale and just tilt the pelvis. So keep the core engaged and just slightly lifting the hips. So we're not coming into the full bridge. So you can either flow with this, inhale, we lift, exhale, we lower, or just hold this for 5 breaths. Try to release those shoulders towards the earth. And then on the next exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Stepping the feet towards the wide edge of the mat, and then very slow windshield wiper with the knees back and forth. So slowly lower. Maybe, it brings a little bit of a twist to the spine, but not much. Switching to the other side. One more time on each side. And then draw the knees back up, plant the feet. Draw the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a hug. Draw those knees in, and then engaging the core, peel the shoulder and the head off of the ground, nose towards the knees. Shoulders released away from the ears. And then release the shoulders and head back towards the ground. Slightly rocking side to side. And then making small circles to massage that lower spine. And then planting the left foot, crossing the right ankle over the knee, draw that left leg in towards the body. Using the leverage of the right elbow to press that right leg away from the body. And then to deepen, you can always straighten the left leg. You can even rock slightly side to side here. Notice how it changes the stretch. And then release, bringing the bottoms of the feet together into an incline butterfly, maybe holding on to the shins or the ankles or the outsides of the feet. And notice when you press the bottoms of the feet together, how that flattens the lower spine and just kind of gives some length to that lower back, and also a deeper stretch to the hips. And then planting the right foot, crossing left over right, draw that right leg in. Pressing the left leg away from the body, straightening the right leg to deepen the stretch, maybe rocking side to side. Draw the leg in just a little bit more and then release, stretching the legs all the way out. And then your choice, you can either roll to one side and join me in a seated position, or lengthen the arms above the head, engage the core, and then using that slow momentum to peel the body all the way up to your seated position. So drawing the legs in, crisscross, sitting up nice and tall. Release the top of the head up towards the sky, engage the core, chin towards the chest. And then using the chin as if it's a pencil, drawing that chin towards the right shoulder and the left. If you tend to hold some of your tension in the neck, really when you find that it's almost like it's a stretch, like that deep stretch, or almost a strain, just hold the stretch and breathe into it to try and release and open it up just a little bit more. And then slowly bring the head to neutral. Release right ear to right shoulder, left fingertips towards the earth. And then sweep the right arm up and over, fingertips to the side of the head. Slowly release, switching sides, so left ear to left shoulder, left fingertips to the side of the head. Mindful to keep the core engaged, just so we have length in the spine. And then come back to neutral. Open the arms up wide on the exhale. Round the arms. So just doing a seated cat-cow. So when we're rounding, really draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. And then drawing the knees underneath. Coming into our tabletop. And just finding that alignment at first. We're going to step the right foot forward. So this is a little bit, we do a lot of the low lunge because the low lunge and the high lunge really helps to stretch out the hip flexors, which when we were first starting the sequence, if you're doing a lot of sitting or even like for runners, it's easy for those hip flexors to get really tight and to prevent our mobility. So walking the toes forward just a little bit. So when you bend into that right knee over the right ankle, you immediately feel this really beautiful stretch through the left side. And then sink the hips back, tip the toes up. Try to re-square the hips. When I sink the hips back, my left hip kind of juts out to the side, so really try to square it. And then bending into that right knee once again, sweep the arms up and over. And then this time, lean the arms to the right and allow the hips to be off-center this time. Noticing that stretch in the small of the back. And then coming back to neutral. Release the hands, framing out the foot. Sink the hips back one more time, toes tipped up. Recenter the hips on this one. And then slowly release that leg back to neutral. Knees out to the wide edge of the mat. Release into extended child's pose for 3 breaths. And then on the next exhale, slowly setting up for the other side. So left foot forward, and really as you bend into that left knee over left ankle, feel the stretch in the right quad, stretching those hip flexors. Sink the hips back, tip the toes up. And then bending into that left knee once again, sweep the arms up and over. And then draw the arms to the left-hand side and let the hips go off-center here. Feel that stretch in the lower spine. Shoulders are released, core is engaged. Continue the breath. On the next exhale, coming back to neutral, release the hands. And then stepping that left foot back, stacking the hips over the knees and walking the hands away from the body. So keeping the hips stacked, releasing the arms, releasing the forehead. Take 5 deep breaths here. And then on the 5th exhale, plant the forearms, release the legs behind, coming into Sphinx pose for 3 breaths. So shoulders are right over the elbows. The lower half of the body is completely relaxed, but you can feel the back bend here. If the back bend is too much, you can walk the elbows away from the body to kind of soften the arch of the back. And then drawing the left elbow towards center, threading the right arm underneath. Really try to reach that right arm away from the body so that you're opening up the shoulder. And then either extend left left arm long or use the left hand as kind of a pillow to the side of the head. So if the head doesn't naturally release to the ground, just use a fist or the hand to kind of prop that head up. So with each exhale, we're sinking and lowering just a little bit more. One more breath. On the exhale, draw that left hand towards the body, lifting and unthreading, forehead towards the floor. Arms out into a T. And then bending that left elbow, drawing that hand next to the chest, and press the body away. So either stacking the legs one on top of each other, or bending that left knee to give yourself a little bit of leverage. Head can be released or lifted, whatever feels comfortable. With each exhale, try to release that right shoulder just a little bit more. And then on the next exhale, release the leg and coming back to neutral. Finding Sphinx pose one more time. And then this time bringing the right elbow towards center, threading the left underneath the right. See if you can really scoot that left arm away. And then extend right arm long, or use the right hand to kind of pillow the side of the head. On the next exhale, drawing that right hand towards the body and unthreading the needle, arms extended. This time, forehead connected. Draw the right hand towards the chest. The belt elbow is bent. And then press the body away from the mat. So stacking one leg on top of the other. Again, you can either kind of float the head off of the ground or release it, whichever feels better. And then bending that right knee to give the body a little bit of leverage. So you might be able to get a little deeper stretch, opening up the left shoulder. One more deep breath in through the nose, and on the exhale, slowly release the leg, release the arms to the side of the body. Forehead connected. And then on the inhale, we're going to peel the legs and the knee off of the mat. Core is engaged. Shoulders released. One more deep breath. And then on the exhale, release the legs. On the inhale, we're peeling the forehead and the shoulders off of the ground. Glutes and core stay engaged. And then release. One hand on top of the other, forehead release to the top of the hand, bending the knees, slow windshield wipering back and forth. And then release the legs, slide the hands next to the chest, elbows tucked in, and slowly press the body up and over, knees together. Release the hips, allow the forehead to release towards the floor, sweeping the arms either to the side of the body, or you can extend them long. With each exhale, see if you can sink the arms a little bit deeper towards the ground. And then slowly on the next exhale, start peeling the body and rolling the spine one vertebrae at a time all the way up into hero. So you're sinking the hips right on top of the heels. And then if you like getting a little extra stretch in the arch, then just bring the toes connected with the mat, and then sink the hips right on top of the heels. If that's too much of a stretch, especially if you have some plantar issues, then you can always rise to the knees so that you can control how much of a stretch in the arch you have. So either way, like kind of making sure you're stacked with ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and the core is engaged here. So it doesn't look like much, but you still want to have like the engagement of the body. And then clasping hands behind, sending the fist down towards the earth. Open those shoulders, kind of counteract what we were just stretching. Open that chest and the heart. Continue the breath. And then slowly release, coming into a seated position, cross-legged, sitting up nice and tall. Taking right hand to left knee, release the left hand behind. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, using that leverage of the right hand on the outside of the thigh, release that right shoulder down and then twist. So inhale, we're always lengthening. Exhale, twisting. And then return to neutral. Planting the left hand, sweeping the right arm up and over, and then peel the arm away from the body to shine that chest up towards the sky. Core is engaged. And then slowly release all the way to neutral, and then switching sides. Crossing that midline, knowing that's so good for our brain. It's a preschool trick that we would always engage the kids. Release the right hand behind. On the inhale, lengthen. The exhale, we're twisting, looking out over the right shoulder. And really, as we're looking out over the right shoulder, releasing that left shoulder down. And then slowly on the next exhale, release, plant the right hand, sweep the left arm up and over. Opening the side body, and then releasing that left arm behind enough to shine the chest up towards the sky. One more deep breath. On the exhale, release, bring the bottoms of the feet together, pressing the bottoms of the feet together. Engage the core. Sitting up nice and tall, and then hinging at the hips, as you hinge at the hips, using the elbows to release the legs a little bit deeper. One more deep breath, and then on the exhale, extend both legs long, coming into forward fold, finding the sit bones, engage the core. Inhale, lengthen the spine and lengthen the arms. Exhale, hinging at the hips. So if this is too much of a stretch, always bending the knees, or even really bending the knees so much that you can hug the legs towards the body. So whichever feels good. One more deep breath. On the exhale, release the chin to the chest and slowly roll the spine all the way up. And then release. Back to the mat, so knees are bent. If you'd like a little extra core work, engage the core, plant the feet, extend the arms long, palms facing up. So a modified boat pose to slowly allow the pelvis to tilt, to slowly lower the body back to the mat. So taking your time, slowly lower, and then release. Bring the bottoms of the feet, the heels in close to the hips, release the arms. So coming into our full bridge, so we're really focusing on releasing the lower back and releasing the shoulders. So we started with the baby bridge just to kind of get that lower back warmed up. So this time bring the heels in close to the hips, plant the feet. The weight of the body is distributed through the bottoms of the feet and the shoulders. So once you get set up, really keep your neck and your head still. And then on the inhale, lift the hips as high as you can. Slide those shoulders underneath the body. So if this feels too much, you can always flow with it. So inhale, we lift, and exhale, we lower, or just hold for 5 deep breaths. To deepen the stretch, you can hold hands with yourself underneath, really sliding those shoulders under the body. Continue to deep inhale and exhale. One more deep breath in through the nose. On the exhale, rise up on the toes, release the hands, slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Open the arms up into a T. Release the knees to the right hand side, looking out over the left. To deepen the stretch, you can place the right hand on top of the left leg, or even extend the legs long. And then slowly exhale, draw the knees back to neutral, and release the knees to the left hand side, looking out over the right. One more deep breath. On the exhale, draw the knees back to neutral. Bottoms of the feet released up towards the sky, engage the core, and then slowly lower the heels all the way down. Taking your time. And then once the heels connect with the earth, release the fingertips. Engage the whole body one last time. And then on the exhale, release. So allow the feet to naturally release to the sides of the mat. Palms are facing up, shoulders release from the ears. Maybe draw the chin towards the chest just slightly. And start to soften. Feel the vibration of the body in the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands. Release each toe one at a time. Soften the legs. Release any tension from the hips, the lower back, from the stomach. See if you can sink the shoulders into the mat just a little bit more. And soften. Release any tension from the chest. Release the arms. Feel the backs of the hands connected with the earth. Release each finger one at a time. Release any tension from the neck. Soften the jaw. Soften the cheeks, the ears, the nose. Release any tension from the eyes and the forehead. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, and on the exhale, release from the top of the head all the way through to the bottoms of the feet. For just a few moments, I'll let you rest, and then you'll hear my voice again. As you start to hear the sound of my voice, start bringing awareness back to your space. Noticing the stillness of the body. Maybe inviting small movements into the fingers and toes. Slowly, and as you feel ready, rolling to one side, keeping the eyes closed. Maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest. Always giving gratitude for the body's abilities. Everything the body does for us. Even the limitations. Even with the limitations, knowing that those limitations have the ability to serve us and teach us even when we're feeling a little bit stubborn about them. Giving praise for everything that our body does for us that we don't have to consciously think of. Knowing that we are this beautiful miracle of a person. And when we start focusing on everything that's right and everything that's good and perfect, it kind of diffuses maybe some of the negative self-talk or the things that frustrate us. Which leads me to gratitude for everything our mind is capable of doing. So knowing that when we fuel our brain with positive self-talk, when we start intentionally looking for the blessings and intentionally being gratitude, especially when we are in the midst of chaos, it shifts our perception. Allow that shift to serve you so that you can pause and respond instead of react, so that you can use that positivity for good, for peace, for patience, for justice. Know that you are beautifully and perfectly made, just the way that you are, exactly the way that you are. I will always invite you to show up authentically and vulnerably. Once you do that for yourself, then you get to invite others along for the ride. As you feel ready, slowly come back to a seated position to close our practice out today. Fingertips to the ground. To feel grounded, to feel stable before we start this day. So finding the alignment, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, engage the core just slightly, and then inhale, open the arms, collect up this beautiful energy you help create into the palms of your hands. Exhaling all of that to your heart, holding it close. Thumbs to the heart, reminding us we are all connected by no mistakes. And really, who wants to do any of this alone? So use that knowledge. You are not alone. We are all connected by no mistakes. May you be safe. May you be well. May you be at ease. And may you know peace. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.